Okay, so now we're going to start to play with design. So this is some graph paper that I have. I know it's a little bit hard for you to see the graph on it. It is easier to do this with graph paper. If you don't have graph paper, you can draw your own checkerboard. That's totally fine. So the first thing that I'm going to do on here is really just draw a bit of a frame, and that's what my weaving is going to fit in, because I'm not going to take up this whole page. And I find it helpful to draw some guidelines for myself. And the other thing that this is helping me think about is approximately the dimensions of my piece. So not necessarily the exact measurements, but I'm knowing that I want my piece to be longer than it is wide. Okay, so I've decided that I want my piece to be rectangular. So this can help me out some in my design process. Now, right now we're not going to worry about colors. We're going to deal with that later. We're just going to start to think about pattern. And for this first one, you're not going to think too hard. We're going to kind of dive in and do it and then talk about it afterwards. So each little square is what you're going to color in to create a bit of a pattern. So an example might be if I wanted to make almost like this little cross shape pattern. If I want that to show up in my weaving, then that's what I'm going to draw in my grid, knowing that whatever you're drawing needs to fit into the grid. So you can't just go and like draw a circle in here. That's not actually going to work. And then deciding I want to leave a space in between. So I'm going to move over and draw the next shape. So you're creating a pattern, and you're creating a pattern that you want to show up in your weaving. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and draw some more of this while you watch, and then you can think about what you want to do in yours. So when you do this, I want you to do at least 3 rows. You can do 3 to 5. You don't need to do this whole thing, or you'll be here for a long time. Now you can see right over here, I made a mistake. And because I did mine in Sharpie, I can't really erase it. It helps some because I can color them in, but that is an example of why you might want to start this in pencil, so that if you kind of mess up the placement of your pattern, you can actually erase it instead of being stuck how I was. So go ahead and explore. You can also look at, I can go ahead and say, okay, so this is one pattern that I'm kind of interested in, and just draw a line across. So that might be my number 1 pattern. And then I can think about what's another pattern that I might want to draw. And how might I create that? I'm going to do a little pencil sketch first, and then go on from there. So what I'm thinking about, which you can see, is if I wanted to do something like a triangle, what would that start to look like? Now I have to fill all these boxes in. So I'm going to go along the edge of this. And then it would be all of these boxes. And play with colored those in. Do I like that? Do I want to explore that more? Do I not want to explore that more? I'm not like really into that one at the moment, so that's fine. Just put another line and I can move on to the next one. Now, what I did kind of like that I saw happening in this one was this line across, and because I like stripes, that got me thinking, what would happen if I did kind of these random bars? And again, as you're doing this like first draft, I don't want you to be thinking about, do I have a clue how to weave this? I want you just to do it.